What up, YouTube family? It's your boy, Jonathan Evans, and I can't wait for this one because we cannot despise the little things. Let's get into it. This is my little girl, Kyler. She's 6 years old. She's sweet as a button. We call her Sweet Sweet, don't we, Kai Kai? We call her Sweet Sweet. She's my sweet girl. And just her being a part of our family, just her sitting here thinking about our legacy, thinking about your legacy, thinking about who you have in your life that's under the sphere of your influence, that's depending on you, that's depending on all the little decisions you make, the little things you do, all of the little things that seem like they're insignificant, but that she actually depends on. And it makes me think about my dad's story. And not just my dad's story, but my dad's story. You know, one day there was two men who introduced my dad's dad, my grandfather, we call him Two Daddy, to Jesus Christ. And that may have been a little thing. They just brought him to church. They invited him to church. And that day, he ran into Christ. And when he ran into Christ, it changed everything in our family. Two Daddy became the hallmark of our family. I mean, just changed things in our family. Taught the word to where my dad became who he is, Tony Evans, and the preaching and all of those different things. And now this is Two Daddy's great grandchild sitting right here, one of them. I have 5 of them. This is one of 5, sweet Kyler. But her sitting on my lap today and being a part of this episode just lets me know how little things are important, because I don't know those two men. I never met those two men that introduced Two Daddy to Jesus and eventually Two Mama to Jesus. I don't know those two men. All I know is from those two men just inviting my Two Daddy to church one day and just saying, hey, the light that we have, we want to share with you. They didn't have a big crowd. They didn't have a lot of views. They didn't have all of the special things that people find as significant. They didn't have millions of followers. They just invited my granddad to church. My granddad witnessed to my grandma. She got saved. They brought the 4 kids, my dad being the oldest, down. They all got saved. My dad became the first in our family's history to graduate from high school. He became the first to go to college, obviously. He became the first African-American to graduate with a PhD at Dallas Theological Seminary, the first African-American to write a full commentary and study Bible. He started a radio broadcast in his garage that now is, with my mom, that now is in 140 countries around the world on 1,400 stations. Started a church with 10 people in a house that now has 10,000 members. Chaplain of the Dallas Cowboys in the Tom Landry days, chaplain of the Dallas Mavericks. And it's just all of these things that he did. And now his 4 kids are in ministry, got grandkids that are doing well, like this sweet girl right here. Our whole trajectory has changed. My dad should have been a statistic. He was raised in Baltimore, The Wire, where statistic derived its meaning. There's no way that we were supposed to be able to make it out, except for 2 guys that I never met. I don't know their names. I don't know who they are. I don't even know who they look like. They got no views from me. They got no views from my dad. They just did a little thing. They invited Two Daddy to church. They were a blessing to him that day. And that day, a big change happened. That day, our family's history changed. That day, Tony Evans became Tony Evans. That day, you get to be ministered to right now because of 2 men generations ago, maybe 50 years ago, maybe longer. I don't even know now, it's been so long. You'll never meet them, they're long gone. I'll never meet them, she'll never meet them, but it matters. Oh man, how many people have been blessed by the ministry of Dr. Tony and Lois Evans? How many people have been blessed by the ministry of Priscilla Shire and Jerry Shire? How many people have been blessed by the ministry of Jesse and Crystal Hurst, my sister Crystal and her husband? How many people have been blessed by the ministry of Anthony Evans and singing? And just me being able to talk to you now. Me being able to be the chaplain of the Cowboys when my dad handed it off. Me being able to preach around the country, preach at my dad's church, lead young adults, pastor young adults. Many people been able to lead to the Lord and be a vehicle of that, and being able to pastor these kids, and just love the fact that she's able to be a part of our family and a blessing to our family along with my other kids, all from 2 men that I never met, that never got any views. They just invited my granddad to church. You never despise the little things, because God can turn a molehill into a mountain. God is able to change things in a big way. Just because you're not getting a lot of views doesn't mean he isn't viewing you. Let me say that again. Just because you're not getting a lot of views doesn't mean that he's not viewing you. that he's not seeing what you're doing, that he's not taking it into full account, that you're not understood and that you're not seen. Because the little things in his kingdom are big things. Because God can take an acorn and turn it into an oak tree. God has a way of making what we view as little supersize it. God has a way of taking it to the next level. God has a way of making it big, even if we view it being small. This is big. She's small, but it's big. Who are those two guys? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But I love them. And I'm grateful that they didn't despise a little thing, even though they never got to see it become a huge thing. Maybe they see it now. But I'm grateful. How many people are grateful for the little things you do? How many people are grateful for the little things you do? How many generations can change just by you inviting someone, talking to someone, being there for someone? So listen, she's little, but she's big. Those guys did a little thing, but it's massive. Don't despise the little things. Listen, be steadfast, unmovable, always abound in the work of the Lord, and know that it will not go in vain. Somebody needs to hear this. Like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, because we're going to grow together and just do little by little, because God knows how to grow your little and supersize it to where it's big for his kingdom. Can't wait to see you next time.